Welcome to Fluid Admin Configuration Training. This video is the 7th video in the Fluid library of training videos. In this video, you will learn more about the configuration menu in the Fluid Admin system. Fluid Configuration Menu. General configuration of Fluid and Fluid display. Technical configuration. Content storage. Third-party class library. Data source, mail transfer, SMTP, printing, user login, caching, Elasticsearch, license, polling, and external application. The Fluid configuration menu is only available to Fluid system administrators and users that have been trained and have the technical capability to use this functionality. It is important to note that the Fluid configuration in large will only be used at the beginning of the deployment of Fluid instance or if there are system architecture changes that require configuration. Due to the sensitive nature of the Fluid configuration menu, we will not display certain components of the configuration as it contains proprietary and sensitive information. The following is a brief description of each of the configuration menu items and how they are used. General. This section caters for the configuration of some of the key components that Fluid requires to operate, but it also caters for some of the regional data settings required for the country of operation of the client. Examples what is configured here are date and time settings, enable or disenable chat functionality. System mail transfer can be edited here, but it is configured in another section of the configuration menu. System server URL, URL configuration settings, white label of the Fluid instance, various API keys, testing of API connections. Display. In the display section, the administrator can configure color and design themes, but also apply two logos that is used by Fluid throughout the user interface. The company logo will be the client's logo that is using Fluid. The company small logo will be determined by the type of license. For clients that have purchased the Fluid Basic and Pro subscription, the Fluid logo will be displayed. For enterprise clients, this must be determined at the time of engagement. Content storage. Content storage determines the following: database, file system, Amazon S3. Note, for Amazon you will require some additional information. Depending on the agreement and subscription type, this will either be provided by Cookiebox BV or it will be provided by the client. The following additional information will be required: Amazon IAM Access Key ID, Amazon IAM Secret Access Key, Amazon Bucket. You will also need to specify the type of encryption that will be used by Fluid. The options are none or AES-256 (CBC). Third-party class library. These libraries are configured to store the code used by Fluid. This will be set up during the initial configuration of the Fluid instance and will not be displayed in the video. Data source. JDBC Data Sources provides database access and database connection management for Fluid to be able to operate. This will either be configured by using the infrastructure of Fluid or it will be configured using the client infrastructure, cloud or on-premise. Mail transfer, SMTP. There are two elements that need to be configured. The first section that requires configuration is the SMTP server connection. This is the outgoing email connection. You will require the following. This information is normally available from the ISP, the systems administrator, or the hosting company. The description is just a name for the email connection so that you can recognize it in the workflow. Encryption type will be determined by your ISP and hosting company. Fluid caters for no encryption, secure sockets layer or SSL, or transport layer security, TLS. Username and password will be provided by the ISP or hosting company. Host will be the hosting service provider. The hosting service provider will provide the port. Remember to test connection to make sure that Fluid was able to successfully connect to the mail service. The second is the actual mail templates that the workflow will use. The email template configuration can either be done in plain text or HTML. The configuration works on the same principle as defining the Word template. The email can be typed as normal, and where the dynamic data needs to be inserted, the administrator will use curly bracket form.fieldname curly bracket tags to insert the indexing for the workflow to use. The following example will illustrate how the email templates are configured. Content type, text or plain, could also have been HTML. Description, new customer sales onboarding. Body text, dear curly bracket form.customer name and surname curly bracket. Thank you for contacting Fluid. Please find attached documents which need to be completed and signed by an authorized representative of your company. We value your business and look forward to receiving your documents back at your earliest convenience. Kind regards, Customer Sales Department. Click Preview to see what it would look like and then save. Printing. Fluid allows for a PDF copy of the form instance. The printing configuration allows one to change the theming for the generated PDF document. User login. User login is used to configure how user profiles are managed. You can configure the use of the Auth0 authentication software or LDAP, which is Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. You can also configure the number of failed attempts before a user profile is blocked. You can configure the user policies in Fluid if such a policy exists for the client. Caching. In this section, we configure the cache container type. Internal. Once you have selected internal, you would need to configure the following as part of the caching strategy. Cache the first number of electronic forms that are work in progress. Cache the last number of updated electronic forms. Memcached. Once you have selected Memcached, you will need to configure the following: Memcached host and Memcached port. You will need to configure the caching strategy. Cache the first number of the electronic forms that are work in progress and cache the last number of the updated electronic form. Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is used for data analytics and business intelligence. In this section, you can activate Elasticsearch and determine the properties to be used by Elasticsearch. Please note, Elasticsearch is disabled. When active, the Elasticsearch will be used as the primary search location. This also implies that the JDBC connections will not be utilized for certain searches. License. In this section, you will request a license if you do not already have one, or you can apply for a license if you have a license but it has not been allocated to a user. Polling. In this section, you will enable or disable polling. Polling is used as a hold state when working with workflows and third-party system integration. Refer to video 5 for more information on polling steps and how they are used. External applications. External applications are applications that are displayed at the bottom of the Fluid dashboard. Essentially, you are using the configuration quick access from the Fluid dashboard to any other system in the Fluid stack or external to Fluid. The defaults are User Dashboard, which is the default user interface that is used for performing tasks. Administration, which is where you configure your Fluid system. To perform Fluid administrative tasks that include flow, form, field, user, role, general, item relocation, and audit log functions. Reports and statistics. To view Fluid user and departmental statistics. Documentation. Depending on the client's needs, you can configure any external links required, provided that you have the correct information. This improves the user experience and the user journey, as they are not required to log in and maintain a large list of commonly used systems. They can all access it from Fluid. Payments. This section is used to enable or disable payments. Fluid caters for Aiden and Stripe. Additional payment providers may also be added. Thank you for watching Fluid configuration menu video. We hope that you have found this information useful. Please feel free to look at some of our other training videos provided by Fluid. In our next video, we intend to focus on the Fluid Admin operational menu and each of the configuration components of Fluid. For more information, please feel free to contact us via our website at www.fluidbpm.com or follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel.